MyBayCity Local Focus, brought to you by State Theater in downtown Bay City, by Cole Financial at 509 Center Avenue in Bay City, by Newton Eye Care, and by Silver Sand Limo. We don't charge until we pick you up. Now here's the host of MyBayCity Local Focus, Dave Rogers.
Bay County voters want answers on the library millage issue on Tuesday's ballot. Here to provide the answers are Don Carlion, Chair of the Library Board, and Kevin Ayala, Business Manager. A general question: does it appear that some of the negative opinions we're getting are based on a frustration with government in general at all levels?
I think there's no question about that. They simply are suspicious of everything connected with government.
Okay, Kevin?
I agree with that, and the voters are definitely fed up with being taxed, and I feel that they feel they've had enough, and this is their way to voice that.
Okay. If the partial renewal of the library millage is approved, will we be getting less service for more dollars, as has been claimed?
Well, yes, we will be getting somewhat fewer, but we're going to provide just as much as we possibly can in services and hours.
Kevin?
Yes, we're county government a unit, and we have to basically, the money we bring in, we have to make sure we have run a balanced budget, and we can only spend what we collect. And so with the reduced millage, we definitely can't offer everything back that we had back in 2006.
Let me follow up with you, Kevin. Are there tax exemptions for people on limited incomes?
There are out there, and we always tell people to make sure you check with your tax advisor about how you can qualify for some tax credits. There are certain levels that you have to qualify for based on your age, income level. So there are some opportunities out there for people to qualify for some property tax credits.
Okay. Yeah, Don, a question has come up about the businesses that were on the site of the old main library, or the new main library. Were these businesses contacted in advance and notified that something?
They were contacted before the bond issue was ever taken to a vote, and they all were willing to sell in order to build a main library.
Okay. Kevin, what about the tax revenues that's been taken in by those businesses and now by the bank? Are we getting more tax revenue or less?
We're actually collecting more tax dollars for the city, the county, from the bank being renovated and open at the old library location. So the bank is now generating more revenue for the city and the county than those 3 or 4 businesses that we bought out to build a new library.
Mm-hmm. Also, the issue of personnel suits and so on has been raised. How would that be paid in case the library is not successful in that suit?
The insurance company is handling the lawsuit. It's their attorney who's working on the lawsuit, and there is a limited amount that the library had paid. It's a deductible, and anything beyond that is paid by the insurance.
So this isn't going to be a big tax cost?
No tax dollars will be spent on any type of settlement.
Okay. During the campaign, it has been asserted that Saginaw and Midland pay far more for comparable library service than we do. A critic says those facts were misrepresented. What do you say about that, Kevin?
Well, what we try to point out to people is that Bay County library system, we're asking for 1 mil. And when you add that to the other half of the operating millage that we get, we're saying that an average taxpayer in Bay County will pay about 1.5 mils. Compared to a Saginaw resident, they're going to have to pay 4 mils. So if you take a house that's in Bay County and you transplant it in Saginaw, they're going to be paying 4 mils on their property as compared to the 1.5 mils. And that's all the only comparison we're doing. We're not getting and digging into the deeper numbers, which the one critic says. And so that's basically what we're trying to compare, that you are going to pay less as a property owner for your library service in Bay County than you would in Saginaw.
Don, future plans for the South End branch?
Well, for the time being, we will not have the funds to open the South End branch. My personal feeling is that the South End branch needs to be opened at some point. It's a great service to the people in the South End. It's convenient. They can get in and out easily, and I believe we need it.
Kevin, just to sum up, the amount being asked, 1 mil, is approximately
3 million.
What percent of what we asked before, what we got before, which was 1.2 mils.
We did, right. Last year we were requesting a renewal of 1.2 mils. This year the board decided to take off 0.2 of a mil. Now we're only asking for 1 mil. We understand it's going to be less, so we're going to have to try to provide more with less. It's going to be a struggle, but we're going to do the best we can to stretch our dollars for the residents of Bay County.
Okay, Don, let's sum up and.
Well, only that there is the question as to why you would not support a library millage. The library has been claimed to be political, and it's not. There are political elements with regard to the board and the County Board of Commissioners and that kind of thing, but the library is simply a part of the community infrastructure. And it is an absolutely necessary part of the community infrastructure.
And you've been promoting the idea that it's part of the educational process and the educational support in the community.
It is, and we basically we try to look at ourselves as we complement the school systems in the area, because the school systems are, of course, everyone knows, faced with financial difficulties, and so they might not have proper libraries in their buildings, and so we like to consider ourselves as a complement to that in helping the children further their education, and so that's the role the Bay County Library System can play in the community's educational process.
Thank you, Kevin Ayala, Don Carlyon.
Thank you.
I'm Dave Rogers for MyBayCity.com. My Bay City Local Focus is a production of OJ Advertising in Bay City, Michigan. All rights reserved.